Okay, now let's duplicate our first button, and we have 3 more other buttons, so we're going to just duplicate the first one we created, the Gabelle Lafell. So let's, on that one in our library, let's right click and duplicate. And we get a dialog box, and let's change our name, and we're going to change the name to what's down here. We can see our next one down is Gary Gary. That's Gary with a Y, and then Gary with an I. And we have our, make sure it's a button, and we'll hit OK. And now let's double click, and we'll click on the button, but the way thing is, it's called Gary Gary, as we can see up here in our edit bar. But the since we duped it, it still has the Gabelle Lafell graphic. So let's go into our library, and no, I'm sorry, let's go into our properties, and let's do swap. And then it comes up, the thumbnails come up already here, and we're going to change that to Gary Gary because that's what we want. And now we see Gary Gary comes up, and we're going to come in here into our over. We'll click on our over, and let's click on that again, and we get the swap button. So we'll do swap, and the previews already come up, and we want our Gary Gary over info, and we'll hit OK, and now that's there, and that should be all we need for now. So let's go ahead and go to our next one. So let's right click, and I'm doing this on the Gary Gary now, duplicate, and the next button down is called over here Il Piatto, so let's name it that, ILPIATO. I'm going to give that a space, and then button, and OK. And let me double click on that, make sure I'm in my Il Piatto button. So now I can see in my edit bar, it's the Il Piatto button. And once again, let's swap out our graphics. So let's select the graphic here, and swap. And we want Il Piatto thumbnail. OK. And let's come over down here and click on our over graphic. And let's click on there in our properties. Let's hit the swap. And we'll get the Il Piatto over info. OK. And there we have it. Okay, and that's done for the Il Piatto. And then we got one more left, library. Let's right click, duplicate. And this one is called the Pierre Platters over here, Pierre Platters. So let's type that out, Pierre Platters. Make sure it's a button, okay. And then we'll double click on the button. So now we see it says Pierre Platters. So let's click on the graphic, go into our properties, swap. And Pierre Platters thumbnail. Okay, so now it's showing up. Okay, now let's click on our over and go to our properties, swap, and under the previews, Pierre Platters over info. Click on that and then OK, and that shows up. Okay, I think that's all of them. Let's go to our scene 1. Go back into our library. Now let's drag these onto our buttons. So we're on our buttons layer, and let's go to Gary Gary is next. Then we'll do Il Piatto is next, and then Pierre Platters is last. And put it about there. And let's go ahead and line these up correctly. I'm trying to get a little bit about the space here, equal about over here. Let's select Shift, select all three of these. And let's go up here to our line. Also could be under here, under window or line. It's not showing up. And I have all three selected and I want them to be either centered or to the top. And it doesn't look like it's working. Try that again. Select all of them. The spacing, that's horizontally. Oh, maybe they were already lined up. That's why. Okay, so now they should be all aligned. Let's hit Command Return. Make sure all of the hover areas are popping up, so everything looks good. All the click noises work, so it all looks good. I think we're good for the buttons, and I guess we'll end this one here now.